Hi everybody, welcome to this day in history. This is the Scotch Show's look at what happened on this day in history, hence the name of the show. You probably hear that every single day, but it's kind of my intro, so I'm going to go with it. Why not? It's February 28th. It is the last day of February. It's the 59th day of the year. 306 days remaining until 2019 comes knocking on our door. Alright, so we start with 1638, and the Scottish National Covenant is signed in Edinburgh. And then in 1700, today is followed by March 1st in Sweden, thus creating the Swedish calendar. In 1784, John Wesley charters the Methodist Church. In 1827, the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad is incorporated, becoming the first railroad in America offering commercial transportation of both people and freight. In 1838, Robert Nelson, leader of the Patriots, proclaims the independence of Lower Canada, today Quebec. In 1844, a gun on the USS Princeton explodes while the boat is on the Potomac River cruise, killing 6 people, including 2 cabinet members of the United States. In 1847, the Battle of the Sacramento River during the Mexican-American War, which is the decisive victory for the United States, leading to the capture of Chihuahua. It's not just a puppy. In 1849, regular steamboat service from the west to the east coast of the United States begins with the arrival of the SS California in San Francisco Bay 4 months and 22 days after leaving New York Harbor. In 1867, 70 years of the Holy See relations with the United States are ended with a congressional ban on federal funding on diplomatic envoys to the Vatican, and are not restored until January 10th, 1984. In 1874, one of the longest cases ever heard in an English court ends when the defendant is convicted of perjury for attempting to assume the identity of the heir of the Tatchborn baronetcy. In 1885, the American Telephone and Telegraph Company is incorporated in New York as a subsidiary to the American Bell Telephone. And the American Bell would later merge with its subsidiary. In 1893, USS Indiana, the lead ship of her class and the last battleship of the Navy, comparable to foreign battleships of the time, is launched. In 1897, Queen Ravalouna III, the last monarch of Madagascar, is imposed by a French military force. 1900, the Second Boer War, 118-day siege of Ladysmith is lifted. In 1922, the United Kingdom ends its protectorate over Egypt through a unilateral declaration of independence. 1933, the Reichstag fire decree is passed in Germany a day after the Reichstag fire. 1935, DuPont scientist Wallace Carothers invents nylon. 1939, the erroneous word dort is discovered in Webster's Dictionary 2nd edition, prompting an investigation. 1940, basketball is televised for the first time. Fordham University against the University of Pittsburgh from beautiful Madison Square Garden. 1942, the heavy cruiser USS Houston is sunk in the Battle of Santa Strait, with 693 crew members killed, along with the HMAS Perth, which lost 375 men. 1947, the February 28th incident in Taiwan. Civil disorder is put down with the loss of an estimated 30,000 civilians. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick announced to friends that they have determined the chemical structure of DNA. The formal announcement takes place on April 25th, following the publication in April's Nature, published April the 2nd. 1954, the first color television set using the NTSC standard is offered for sale to the public. 1953, a school bus in Floyd County, Kentucky, hits a record truck and plunges down an embankment during a rain-swollen Fork River. The driver and 26 children die, which remains one of the worst school bus accidents in history. The Discoverer 1, an American spy satellite, is the first object intended to achieve polar orbit. It's launched, but it fails to achieve such orbit. So it was intended to, but it didn't quite get the job done. 1975, an underground train in London fails to stop at the Moorgate Terminus station and crashes into the end of the tunnel, killing 43 people. 1983, the final episode of MASH airs. With almost 106 million viewers, it still holds the record for largest viewership of a season finale. 1985, the parental Irish Republican Army carries out a mortar attack in Royal Cluster military station in Newry, killing 9 officers in the largest loss of life for the Royal Gloucester Police on a single day. 1986, Olof Holm, the 26th Prime Minister of Sweden, is assassinated in Stockholm. 1991, the First Gulf War ends. 1993, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms agents raid the Branch Davidian Church in Waco, Texas, with a warrant to arrest the group leaders David Koresh. 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians die in the initial raid, starting a 51-day standoff, which ends with the fire that burned down and killed way too many women and children and Branch Davidians. 1995, John Hewson, who is a Liberal leader in Australia, resigns from Parliament almost 2 years after losing the federal election in 1993. 1997, an earthquake in Iran is responsible for 3,000 deaths. 1997, GRB 970228, a highly luminous flash of gamma rays, strikes the Earth for 80 seconds, providing early evidence that gamma ray bursts occur well beyond the Milky Way. Very interesting. In 1998, the first flight of the RQ-4 Global Hawk, the first unmanned aerial vehicle, certified to fly its own flight plans and fly regularly in U.S. civilian airspace. 1998, the Kosovo War. Serbian police began the offensive against the Kosovo Liberation Army in Kosovo. In 2004, 1 million Taiwanese participating in the 228 hand-to-hand rally form a 310-mile human chain to commemorate the February 28th incident in 1947. 2005, a suicide bombing at the police recruiting center in Iraq kills 127. And in 2013, Pope Benedict the 16th resigns as Pope of the Catholic Church, becoming the first Pope since 1415, and Gregory the 12th to do such. We got some births to report today, quite a few of them actually. Bugsy Siegel was born on this day in history, 1906. Alfred Marshall, who founded Marshall's, was born 1919. Also, still living and still with us, the longest, the person who is still living with us and the oldest is Brian Uhart. He is an English soldier and diplomat, the Under Secretary General of the United Nations. He doesn't say whether he is still or former, but there you go. Hayden Fry, happy birthday, Hayden Fry, former coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gavin McLeod, happy birthday to you from MASH. Dean Smith was born on this day in history. Aldo and Mario Andretti, happy birthday to Sister Kate herself, Stephanie Beacham. Sister Kate was a show on TV, on NBC a long time ago, but it was still one of my favorites. It didn't last long, but that's what I remember her as. And she starred in many other things. Amazing actress. Jeff Nichols from Black Sabbath. He died last year, but he would have been celebrating his birthday today. Bernadette Peters, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Gilbert Gottfried is celebrating his birthday today. John Turturro, Gary Belcher, happy birthday to Gary. Eric Lindros, Masato Tanaka, Jason Aldean, and Lance Hoyt, all celebrating their birthdays today. It is National Science Day in India, Peace Memorial Day in Taiwan, and Teachers' Day in the Arab states. Thank you guys for checking out this day in history. Catch us here on the scottshow.com at 102550.net. You can catch us on YouTube. We are everywhere that we can be at this point. And we'll see you guys soon here at the scottshow.com.